Hello, and welcome to How to Solve a 2x2. To begin, we will start by solving for the white face. I'll start with this as my starting white, and we'll see that there's an orange and a blue here. So I'll find another white that has a blue. So what I like to do is I like to put these whites on the bottom layer. Not on the bottom face, but on the bottom layer. So this white here is able to move, and I'm able to put it into place. So what I'm doing right now is I'm putting this below where it would turn up and align. Since this is our first white next to this other one, we don't have to worry about messing up the other white. Now we'll go on to the next one. We'll see that this is in the bottom layer and we'll move it into place. So since there's no white here and we see that this corresponds correctly here, we can just move it up and into place. Now for our next one though, we have to get this to the bottom layer before we can mess with it. So what we'll do is we'll move it down. This puts it on the bottom face, which is not what we want, but it gets it out of that top. So we'll move it over once to the opposite. So it was here on the right side here. So we'll move it to the left. The reason we do that is because when we move this back up, we don't want to move that up with it. Now, we'll get this directly underneath where it was, underneath a non-white. Then, we'll correspondingly turn it down, and we'll see that it's on the back face now. This back face, we'll turn it twice, or actually, the bottom layer. We'll move this white back up, so we didn't disturb any of these whites that we had, and we now have this white on the bottom layer. We'll now put it into place. To do this, you're going to align it so when you move it up, it aligns correctly. So it would align with this as well if it did not move. But since it does move, we need to move it to the opposite side. So it's on the left here. We move it to the right. We'll move the piece that we want to place it in down, and we'll move the white over into place and back up. That's kind of how I like to put the whites into place unless it's an easy turn up. So then we'll see that we have this whole white side finished and the top layer is complete. We'll then put this on the palm of our hand, we'll put it on the bottom, and we'll start solving for the yellows. To do this, you'll look for one of 4 different yellow patterns. Either 2 yellows side by side, 2 yellows diagonal, 1 yellow by itself, or in one case there is no yellows on this bottom face. You'll do a certain pattern on a certain face just according to the yellows. So with 2 yellows side by side, you'll do this move on the opposite face across from those. So the move is up, over, down, over, up, over, over, down. In this case, I have 1 yellow here. 1 yellow on top, I need to put it in the bottom left-hand corner, and I'll do the move on the face below that. The move is up, over, down, over, up, over, over, down. Again, I have 1 yellow, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in the bottom left-hand corner and do it on this face. Up, over, down, over, up, over, over, down. This is what we're looking for in the end. We're solving for the yellows. So we have all the yellows here. In the case of 2 diagonal yellows, you would put one of the 2 yellows, doesn't matter which, in the bottom left-hand corner and do it on the bottom face, just like before. Now, if you have 2 yellows that are side by side again, you do it on the opposite face. If there are no yellows on this face at all, you'll look on these layers and see if there are any yellows, and you'll do it on the one that doesn't have any yellows at all. You do it on the face with no yellows here, and that's where you'll do the move. Now that we are at this point, we'll go on to the next step. You'll see that all of these are good, so we'll look here to see if any of these are the same. So since none of these layers have the 2 of the same color, we'll have to do the move twice in this case. So we can do this on any face that we want and in any orientation. So the move is down, front, down, back, back, up, opposite front, down, back, back, up, up, and one turn to the right. Now you'll see we have two colors here which are aligned, and the other three sides each have colors that are opposite to one another. So we'll align the colors with its corresponding sides so we complete one side together, and we'll go to the opposite face to do this move. The move again is down, front, down, back, back, up, front, reverse, down, back, back, up, up, and over one. Now you have solved the 2x2 and you're ready to do it on your own. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please comment, like, and subscribe down below, and I will see you next time.